Hello and welcome to this episode of Cosmic Crow Tarot, where today I thought we'd let the RWS Christmas Tarot by Matt Green share its message with us. This deck is the perfect deck, as I told you last week's episode, the perfect deck for Christmas and the holiday season. I mean, just look at the box. That wand, candy cane, they're falling out of a North Pole tower, and then there on the back of the box you see the High Priestess with her Christmas lights. It's just so much fun and so cute and so perfect. I'm kind of obsessed with Rider-Waite Smith decks that are based on holidays and stuff. A few months ago for Halloween, I showed you the Halloween version of this deck, and it was just so much fun. And when I did a festival around the end of around Halloween, it was the day after, and I got to share that deck. I was so excited about it because it's just, it's the deck everybody knows, but it's something special and unique that celebrates that time of year, and that's what this one is. So we're going to shuffle the way that I shuffle, and this is simply one of those present-future advice spreads that I like to share, that I love doing for festivals and things like that, because there's a lot of guidance in 3 simple cards, plus the bottom of the deck, because I always like sharing the bottom of the deck as well. And if it calls to you and it resonates with you, that's fantastic. Let me know. If it doesn't and you want a personal reading, let me know that as well. Comment on this video, message me on the socials, or book one directly on my website. All of that is in the link below. And as always, as I begin this, I want to thank the cards, thank my guides, thank the universe and powers that be for giving me this voice to share with you today, to give us this answer, this guidance, this message that we need to make the best of our lives moving forward. It's always important, I feel, to look at the here and now, where we are presently in our lives, and then look at where the future might take us. But that future is not written, and the way that I do this, that future always ends up coming out to sound like it's like that it's more of advice than anything. And then there's the advice position as well. So we're going to get to all of that. Right now we're just going to focus on the here and now. And it's this guy right here. You can't really see him, but I've got him right here that I feel like is the card that is calling to me today. And there it is, the King of Swords, the leader of logic. It's really, really important to always trust logic. It's always important to think rationally about our ideas. Yes, life is more than just logic. We are not Vulcans of the Star Trek universe. We are human. Mind and heart go hand in hand. Astrological correspondence to the King of Swords is Aquarius. Aquarius is my personal favorite sign of the zodiac because they're weird, they love conspiracies, they love just letting that freak flag fly. And my favorite thing about an Aquarius, at least the ones that I have met, and they're some of my greatest friends, is they want to make humanity a better place while they're here. So many of us do, but they don't necessarily like people. I totally get on board with that. I mean, especially this time of year, the traffic, the people in every single store, it's downright terrifying at times, but we've got to fight through it. We've got to keep going. The King of Swords says, don't give up. Let that logic lead. Everybody's just out doing the same thing. They're trying to get those things, those gifts and everything going for Christmas, and they might feel stressed out. Think rationally about it. You've done this before. You've done it year after year. Do not get stressed out. The red of his costume right there, yes, or his warrior leader kind of outfit there, shows that passion and that enthusiasm. Yes, it might be colored that way just because it's a holiday themed deck, but I always like to see red as that passion and love for life. It can also be anger, and we let that anger, that stress, those negative emotions pull us under. We're not going to feel that confident, but that King of Swords says, find that confidence, change that mindset, trust yourself, and let that logic lead you in the here and now. You might be inspired by the people around you that are thinking logically. You might compare yourself to those people too, but when you trust yourself and you think logically about your own life, you can weather whatever storm comes your way. Now, members of the court don't necessarily have any numbers connected to them. You don't see a number there, but if you see them as the next step after the 10, the number is easily found. The sequence goes page, knight, queen, king, 11, 12, 13, 14. Kings are always the 14, which relates to temperance of the major arcana, and it shows taking that knowledge and wisdom of the past and applying it to the next chapter. Like I said, you might feel stressed right now, but that King of Swords says that rational brain is there and it's stronger because of all the experiences of your past. This is not the first rodeo. This is not the first holiday season. It's very much just the same thing that's been going on for over 200 years now. And that energy there, I mean, the actual gift giving and things like that, more so in 1842 when Charles Dickens wrote A Christmas Carol. That's when what we know as of Christmas is what we kind of celebrate today. But that energy there, you know, shows that they've done this before, and we can do it now because we can learn from those experiences of the past. 1 and 4 equals 5, the number of change and transformation, the Hierophant of the major arcana. So let life be your teacher, and let that life and knowledge make you strengthen your intuition and strengthen that rational brain so you can think logically about the future. The future is not written. It's always up to chance and change. We can give you an idea of what's going to occur, but that future, again, is yours to write, no one else's. There it is, and it's actually reversed. Now, I will tell you now, I am not a fan of reversals. It's, one, I'll be completely honest with you, I know the upright version inside out and upside down, pun intended, but the upside down aspect of it, you know, that's adding 78 more meanings and 78 more cards to the messages, and I feel like it's a block in mindset. That's how I see it. You know, that reversal, the moon represents dreams and the subconscious and a crisis of faith. And you know, reverse could very much mean like you don't believe in your dreams. You don't trust yourself enough. That crisis of faith and that doubt is making it hard to trust yourself. Now, logic and emotion are the two kind of energies right here. The moon energy very much stronger because it's a major arcana card. So it's life lessons. So those dreams that you had in the past and they didn't work out, they can be the lessons to trust yourself in the here and now. But if you let that doubt and then anxiety and that worry seep in, then you won't trust yourself to make those dreams a reality. The moon appearing in the future position says, you know, there might be doubt creeping in. There might be anxiety. There might be worry. You know, that crisis of faith. And I always see that as a crisis of faith in yourself. You know, that insecurity pulling you under that ocean of emotion and making you not trust your intuition. The number on the moon is right up there. You can hardly see it because it's in black and on the dark, but it's 18. 18 of the major arcana, which combines the magician with strength or justice depending on the deck we're working with. When we embrace that magic within, when we are not afraid to begin something and start focusing on what we want our futures to be, then we can start being fair to ourselves and finding that strength we need to succeed. 1 and 8 equals 9, the number of the hermit. 9 contains the energy of all the numbers that have come before it. So all of those experiences of the past, once again, can be the lessons and knowledge and wisdom we need to make whatever dream we want to come true moving forward. The moon says, you know, embrace that energy, embrace, you know, trusting ourselves, trusting our emotions and our intuition and logic as well, so we can focus on making our dreams a reality. No one is going to do it for us. We have to be the ones to make those dreams come true. So do not have that lack of faith in yourself. Do not have that doubt and anxiety pull you under that ocean of emotion and make you think that you can't succeed. The moon coming up in reverse in the future, I definitely see that as like that doubt, like I said, that anxiety that made the card come up reversed. But when you trust yourself, when you flip it back over and you change that mindset, like I said with the King of Swords, you absolutely have the potential to make all your dreams come true. The astrological correspondence to the moon is Pisces. Pisces is the immutable water sign of the zodiac. It's actually interesting. You go from Aquarius energy to Pisces energy right there, don't we? And even the King of Swords being connected to the Aquarius energy shows that connection, that they're so close together. So you have to have that love and logic together, those strong emotions for what you're doing and that rational thought in order to succeed. Now, Pisces energy being the mutable water, that mutable energy can go with the flow or it can fall into that ocean of emotion. So when that doubt and anxiety and the worry seeps in, you know, you're not trusting your emotions. You're letting your emotions drag you under. But when you trust yourself and you take that time to learn from your experiences and trust that mind as well as your heart and trust that you have everything you need to succeed, then you have the strong intuition that you need to trust yourself. Pisces is one of the most intuitive signs of the zodiac, but only when they trust themselves and have faith that they have what it takes to succeed. Now we're going to move to the position of advice now. And like I said when I began this, that sounded a whole lot like advice. But hey, the future isn't written and we need all the advice we can get, right? Next up is the advice. And it's this guy right here. Oh, I got 2 there. Let's put that one back. And there we go. Actually, now that I think about it, yeah, I've got both of those. I'm going to put both of them there because I feel like they both came up for a reason. I'm going to set the cards right there and put that 5 of Cups right there with the 10 of Pentacles right there. Both are upright. And we have that 5 of Cups, which might be the reason we have that lack of faith or that crisis of faith and that doubt in ourselves. Focus on our dreams, want to make our dreams come true. But the logical part of our brain says, we tried in the past, it didn't work out. So why should we trust ourselves now? That's the focus. That's the focusing on what's been lost and not seeing the potential that remains. All the creative potential and all the creative ideas that didn't work out in the past because we didn't trust our dreams and we didn't trust ourselves, or just for some reason or another, it just didn't work out in our favor, has left us focusing on that negativity, has left us doubting ourselves and doubting our ability to make our dreams come true in the here and now. But when we take the time to turn around, when we look towards, the future, when we look towards, what remains and what potential there is for that future, there's that too. We can trust our intuition and make the choice to make our dreams a reality. Find what fulfills us. Just as the King of Swords related to the number 5, the 5 of Cups, obviously 5, has that energy of change and transformation, the Hierophant of the Major Arcana as well. So taking that time to learn from that experience of the past and changing that mindset and trusting, that the things of the past didn't just hurt us. They didn't kill us. They made us stronger. So when we take that time to learn from those experiences of the past and turn around and stop focusing on what has gone wrong and start learning what it has to teach us, then we absolutely can focus on whatever our makes our hearts sing moving forward. The astrological correspondence to the 5 of Cups is the first decan of Scorpios, like Pisces, are water signs. It's the fixed water. And when they are upset, it's like Pisces. It's like Cancer. They're the emotional side and those sign, and those emotions can just drag you under. So when we take that time, to face those emotions, take that time to drown or to dive into that ocean of emotion, not drowning in it, and come out for air and trust ourselves, animal instincts, that wild part of ourselves, balance with that domesticated part of ourselves, so we can focus on where we want to be, what we want to do, and learning from the pain of our past can absolutely help us do it. I'm just going to go like this with the cards so we can focus on that 10 of Pentacles that wanted to come up for us as well. The 10 of Pentacles is often a card of generations of family coming together to celebrate. But, that's very much this time of year, but it's not really, because, you go to grandma's house and you do all those things for Christmas, but it's not really the message that we want to see with this meaning. It doesn't really fit with that meaning, right? That message that we've been getting with this deck. So I always like to see the 10 of Pentacles as the card of the blood that flows through our veins, the ones that have come before us that are no longer with us, and even the past lives that we ourselves don't even remember we were a part of. Those experiences, that past, the people that have come before us, they all had obstacles. They all faced hardships. If you've played Oregon Trail on the computer, some of those hardships. Nothing is easy. Life is not easy. There's always going to be obstacles, always going to be things that make us want to fail. But we focus on that when we don't trust ourselves and we don't turn around and see the lessons that what they are to have to teach us so that we can make better choices moving forward and trust our intuitions, then we're not taking the time to really trust ourselves. We're not taking that time to flip that moon over and trust ourselves and have that faith that everything is going to be okay and we can make our dreams come true. The ones that have come before us, they didn't have all the answers either, but they kept going and they didn't give up. And that is the same ability we have today. It's the same concept. It's the same, just trying to live, trying to be human, trying to focus on where we want the next chapter to take us. This is our lives, our story, and whatever we create today will be what inspires the next generation. 10 is the number up there. That is the number, the Wheel of Fortune of the Major Arcana. It combines the Magician with the Fool. Begin being a fool for what you want. Begin trusting our intuition, so we're trusting ourselves to make our dreams a reality. Astrological correspondence to the 10 of Pentacles is the third decan of Virgo. Virgos they're one of the most perfect signs of the zodiac. They are the ones most focused on perfection and the ones most capable of achieving it. But their biggest downfall is their own doubt and that inner critic that tells them their stuff isn't good enough. So that doubt, that insecurity, that anxiety. I feel like that's why that moon was reversed. But we flipped it over, and you can flip that mindset as well. 5 and 5, we had 2 5s equals 10. You change that mindset, and you can begin trusting yourself and being a fool for something else. Practice makes perfect. Learn from those experiences of the past, learn from the ones that have come before us, and trust that we have everything we need to succeed. I'm going to leave that moon right there as I flip over the deck, and then I will send you on your way. There it is, the bottom of the deck, Judgment. Judgment is the final card we meet before we meet the success of the world. So forgive that past. Learn what it has to teach you. Judge yourself fairly in the here and now, and toot your own horn because you absolutely deserve it. Astrological correspondence to Judgment is Pluto, and Pluto, I have a really bad habit of giving planets and everything else human qualities. There's actually a word for that, but I don't know what it is off the top of my head, but I do it, and Pluto's my personal favorite one to do it, because Pluto, was a planet. It was a big planet. It was one of the 9 in the solar system. When we were kids, at least when I was a kid, you learned that that was one of the planets, and it didn't matter how small it was. And then I think it was around 2006 that scientists said, no, Pluto's too puny. It's too small. It's not a planet. It's a dwarf planet. You know what? Pluto doesn't care what scientists think, and Pluto doesn't care what you think either. He trusts himself. That's a very human quality, but it's the planet of rebirth. It's the planet of transformation. So we go right back to that energy of that 5, right back to that king, that logic, that wisdom, that it doesn't matter what the past held when you trust yourself and you learn what that past has to teach you. Pluto is the planet of just revolution. So be that revolution in your life. Change that mindset and judge yourself fairly in the here and now. 2 and 0, that's the 1 and 0. It's double that. So we just keep moving forward here. And by taking that time to judge ourselves fairly in the here and now, to forgive ourselves and others for the past that we had, we absolutely can make any dream we have come true. Trusting our intuitions and being a fool for life. That is the message that our RWS Christmas Tarot had for us today. If you want a reading with this deck or any of the decks in my collection, please feel free to send me a message or send me a message on the socials, book one directly on my website, or as always, comment on this video, and I'll be happy to do so. I always just love having different decks share their message with us, because you have no idea what's going to come up. And once again, this is an empowering, insightful, inspiring message, I feel like, and it's all about forgiving yourself and letting go of that past so you can trust yourself in the here and now, trust your intuition, and be a fool for the life that you dream of. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you again in the next one.